Hi, this is Rick again, and this Chroma Genie tutorial will be on how to change the various backgrounds. There are a couple of things I want to say about backgrounds. First of all, in the Tools area and under Settings, the background orientation is an area that you can fool around with and see what works for you best. The basic tutorial, I had this set on Mix, and what Mix would do is what you see here. You'd have 4 landscape and you'd have 4 portrait. But that's all you'd have on screen, so your selection process was a lot less than if you had all 8 set up on screen for landscape and portrait. So what you might want to do is come over here and change this to auto, so that way any image that you take or that you bring in from green screen, that will have the proper orientation. You'll get all 8 options, and you're going to see how that's going to work in a second here. Okay, now we see that we have landscape, and again, when I went out and came back, it automatically changed it to all landscape at this point. But let's go ahead and get an image, and we'll get our landscape image here. We're not going to spend too much time in this area, but just as a refresher, remember, click, drag on the image, and you place it somewhere else. The other thing you can do is use the wheel size to resize the image, or the plus and minus, which I happen to like these down here. I think they work a little easier than running your mouse wheel. Okay, with that said, again, you can change backgrounds as you desire. Now, if you want to, and it's only applicable to the number 1 for landscape and the number 2 for portrait, you can have some images set on your desktop, and you can click, drag, and I've just changed this image. Click it once again and it changes the background. But just be aware that it's only good for that particular one. You'll see that I can't change it to any of these others, but again, I can change that and click again, and I have the background in place. So that's one way of changing backgrounds. If you want to change all the backgrounds, go to Tools, go to Backgrounds and Borders, and let's go to our horizontal borders, and you can see that it's showing you what you have. Now, let's say I take number 2, I click once, and it allows me to go to any of my background folders, and I've set up a digital backgrounds folder that has literally thousands of backgrounds in it. Let me go to the landscape chroma background, and here's where you'd probably want to organize your various backgrounds in themes so that you know what you have going and what you want. So I can take this, and just for sake, I'll just go ahead and click this and open that, and you'll see that the background here has changed for number 2. I can go to number 4 and again go to my digital backgrounds folder, which is right about here, and go to my landscape borders backgrounds, and let's do this again, just so that you can see that I am changing. There's number 4, and obviously you can see I can do that to all of these. And then once you get done with this and you come around, you'll see that all those backgrounds have been changed. So there's a quick way of dealing with backgrounds. Again, you can see over here how things have been saved. I do want you to know that you'd be better off by setting up your backgrounds beforehand, particularly before your shoot, and especially do this if you're going to have yourself tethered, almost like a photo booth type of concept, so that you could have the client come back, take a look at the 8 backgrounds and say, well, I'd like that background. And that's what they can choose, and then say, well, I'd like this background. And the same way if you take a picture and it's portrait, and we'll do that real quick here. Let's grab a portrait image and we'll bring that in. And here's our portrait image. And as you can see, again, all of these have changed. If I wanted to change the portrait background real quick, I can do this. You'll notice the plus sign is good, and you can't move it anywhere else. Remember, landscape was here. Number 1 you could change quickly, and portrait you can change number 2 quickly, and there you go. So the same thing applies to portrait backgrounds. In our next tutorial, we'll talk about putting borders around the various photos and backgrounds that you have in place. All right, with that, thank you very much, and there's some more exciting activities and information coming in future Chroma tutorials.